Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Today I'm going to go over the products that I just received from the new Stampin' Up! Catalog for 2017-2018. The first thing I want to show you is the watercolor pencils. So you can see they come with 12 different pencils, and the nice thing about these is that they match all the other Stampin' Up! Colors, which is what's great about Stampin' Up! So here are what the pencils look like. Hopefully you can see that. But since it's probably better to just show you, I'm just going to grab, this is Pacific Point. This is some Canson XL mixed media paper, so I'm just going to color a little bit, and it colors really nicely. And then I'll take my aqua painter and I'm just going to pull some of that color out. I usually start in the white area and then I move to the colored area, and you can see how beautiful that looks. It's just gorgeous. So really nice blending, and the way it kind of fades out. I really like it so far. So we'll do some more tests later, but that's kind of what it looks like for now. One more thing I want to mention about these watercolor pencils is the reason why, let's say you have another pack of pencils that you might want to get these, is because they coordinate with the other colors, which I know I already mentioned. But like, for example, here's a piece of the Pacific Point paper, and so if I wanted to color a flower with this color, I could mat my card on the same color cardstock. So anyway, that's just kind of the plus for these watercolor pencils. The next product I want to show you is what Stampin' Up! Is calling the 3D Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folders. And they're basically the same as the We Are Memory Keepers Next Level folders, so they're a lot thicker and they give you a deeper impression. I got the Pinewood planks, and you can see, if you can, how incredibly thick this folder is. It's thicker than any of the Next Level ones. It's just really solid and thick. So I went ahead, and what you want to do is spray your cardstock before you run it through your Big Shot. And here is a look at what this looks like when you actually put it through the Big Shot. It's really nice. It's got a nice deep impression. And by spraying the paper with water first, you kind of soften it up a little bit to really bend and not crack. And as far as the sandwich goes, there was a little bit of a different sandwich I had to use. And I found that what worked best for me was to take the regular Sizzix platform. Do not use 2 or 1. You're going to open it up to just the platform. Then you'll put your paper inside your embossing folder. You'll put it right down on top. And then this is the impressions pad. It's an accessory that you can buy from Sizzix. I use it a lot for dry embossing with dies. You could use this. This is what I found is the best fit. You could just use a plain old acrylic plate if you want to instead of this one, but it won't be quite as deep as you're going to get with this. So anyway, so this is the sandwich that I felt worked best with this folder. And I don't know if the other ones of these folders would be a little bit different, but for this Pinewood Planks one, that's what worked the best for me. The next product set is the You Move Me. I got the stamps and also the dies. The dies come in like a plastic folder here that you pull out with paper that sticks to this additional piece. I usually take all this off and put it on like a magnetic card. But anyway, you can see that some of the other companies used stamps to have this sort of screen to go in and out of, and you stamp it onto acrylic. But Stampin' Up! Has a die, and this works actually really well. You're going to need a little bit of extra pressure in the Big Shot to make sure that these tiny pieces come out. I ended up using just 2 acrylic plates like normal, and then I added 3 Mylar shims, and I was able to pull all these out with no problem. So the stamp set comes with butterflies and birds. These are these two, and these 2 are the ones that you use for making the animation. And I made kind of a quick sample here. I mean, it's not a card, it's just a sample. So you can see when I slowly move it up, the bird sort of flies up the card, and then it eventually pulls out. So it's actually really neat, really neat looking. So the nice thing too is that you get solid ones to maybe accessorize with. The dies cut out the butterfly. There's an intricate butterfly that you can actually use on its own just with some colored cardstock. It's got the flower inside die. It's got a lot of dies that go with this. There's also a mini butterfly here as well. But anyway, I think there's a lot you can do, and I like the fact that you get both a bird and a butterfly in the animation set. So anyway, I'll be using that in more detail. I'm just showing this to you just to kind of show you what I got, but I'm not going through actually the detail how to. I will do that later. The next set I got is the Pocketful of Sunshine. So it comes with a pocket stamp with some designs, a lot of really cute sentiments. It's got some money which you can stamp and die cut. Here are the matching dies, and some sunglasses. You could fill your pocket with pretty much anything, which is why I got it, because I thought this would be a versatile set. Now the pocket, you can see the die actually has some score lines in it. So I went ahead and cut one, and so you can see what it looks like. And the thing is, I cut it first, so I die cut it first before I stamped it. And I noticed that when you put it in the MISTI, and you put it in the corner here, just kind of match it up, the stamps are actually empty. They're not solid in the middle, which is nice because sometimes you press and you get some ink from the middle. So if you put this right up against the edge, and then you put the stamp right up against the edge, you're going to get it stamped perfectly. Now you still have to kind of go up and down to make sure that it meets the edges on the top and bottom right. But just putting it right up against the edge of the MISTI, when this is up against it, it stamps it great. So I thought that was very helpful. And once you get it stamped, you can fold it on all four sides like this. And then what you do is you put some adhesive on these tabs right here, and then you'll adhere that to your cardstock. So at first when I saw this, I thought it was kind of a box where it would come out of the cardstock kind of like this, where this is the cardstock, and you wouldn't be able to fit it in an envelope, but it's actually very flat, and it pops up just enough for you to kind of slip some items into the pocket. So I thought this was a really cool set that you could fill with all sorts of things. The next thing I want to show you is the bunch of blossoms with the matching blossom builder punch. This is actually not new, but I just noticed it for the first time and decided to buy it. It has multi-step stamps, including an outline with many petals, different kinds of flowers. And I thought it would be fun because you build the flower by punching out those items. So I went ahead and built several petals. So what I did was I stamped the solid in Pink Pirouette, I stamped the outline in Melon Mambo, and then for the third step, I used a stamped off Melon Mambo, and then I just punched them out with the punch, which is really easy to do. It's a lot easier than dies. And I cut out 5 of those, and then I also cut out, there's a punch for the middle, and there's 3 stamps for the middle. You can see right here on the box. So I did this color in Daffodil Delight, then I did this in Crushed Curry, and then I did this one in black, and this is how it turned out. So you could build any size flower you want with as many petals as you want, and then there's multiple leaves as well. So you could just, I put 5 here, and you can just arrange them however you like. Maybe put a glue dot in the middle if you want to hold them together, or you could put glue all over the backs of each one, and then layer them however you want. Actually, that's not a very good job. All right, let's see, like that, it's probably better. And then you can just take your middle and you can kind of hide. Here, I'm going to close up a little. And then you just put your middle piece right there to cover up where the petals meet. And the nice thing is that you can do a bunch of these flowers, make a big bunch of flowers without having to do a bunch of masking. So I thought this was a nice creative set to do a lot of different things with. Next, I got the Happy Celebration set. I kind of looked, this one was a little expensive, but it has so many different stamps in it. You can see how large the happies are. There's 3 different happies. I put this on a piece of white cardstock so you could see it. So this one has some outline kind of shadow, and then you have some kind of paint splatters here that you could put behind the happy words. Then there's also these sort of swipes of color that will fit right behind the letters as well. And then there's different shapes that you can create patterns on a card with. There's also some great sentiments, some circles. I mean, it's a great set. I think it's got Celebrate also as well. And I decided to pick this one up because it seems really versatile. So I try to buy stamp sets that I can use on multiple cards that look kind of completely different from each other. So I don't want to create the same card over and over again. I want to be able to create completely different cards, and I think you can do that with this set. So that's why I picked this set. Next, I bought a spool of white twine. Typically they come in this sort of piece of cardboard that's wrapped around, and it really is not very user-friendly, so I'm glad they switched over to a spool of thread. So I got this. Finally, not very interesting, I got 2 packs of paper. I got Stampin' Up! Black paper. It's my go-to black paper. It's the perfect weight, I love it. And then Smoky Slate is a great cool gray color that's a great subtle addition for a card that you don't want to add another color to. So that is all I got in round 1. So I'm looking forward to using all these, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.